Paris outragé, Paris brisé, Paris martyrisé, mais Paris libéré.
Alors aux enfants de la patrie, le jour de gloire est arrivé. Contre nous de la tyrannie, les canards sanglants élevés, les canards sanglants élevés. Entendez-vous dans les campagnes mugir ces féroces soldats? Ils viennent jusque dans nos bras, égorger nos fils et nos compagnes. Honorables citoyens, soleil, bataillons, marchons, marchons,
Member, Consul General Lemoine, Mayor Moon, Council Member Smotrick, Mr. Bell, Ms. Kim, our honored veterans, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bob Johnson. I'm a retired Air Force officer, and it's a really great privilege and pleasure for me to be here today in this beautiful museum, which is so appropriate to recognize our honorees. I had the pleasure of being here about 10 years ago when we recognized Donald Cravens, who this wonderful hangar is named after. Please rise for the presentation of the colors and the playing of the anthems. We're pleased to have Palm Springs Air Museum docents Richard Kavanaugh and Bill Gildner as our color guard today. Color guard, present the colors. I'm pleased to call up Christy, granddaughter of Russ Snell, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Christy. Color guard, please post the colors and retreat. Audience may be seated. I'd like to briefly go over the wonderful relationship between the United States and France. They've had a number of recognition programs for our veterans. Back in 1998, they began Project 1918, 1998 to recognize our World War I veterans. And over the next few years, over 900 were presented to living World War I veterans in California, in the United States. And in California alone, we found 55 living World War I veterans. And for me, I did a lot of the ceremonies, and they were mostly centenarians. It was just a wonderful program. Then they began a program for World War II veterans in the year 2000. They handed out thousands and thousands of very nice diplomas for those that had served in France. And in 2004, in honor of the 60th anniversary of D-Day, they began a program to present the Legion of Honor to living World War II veterans. And just in California alone, we've presented probably 400 and thousands in the United States. And when I do these ceremonies, I reach out to the audience and say, there are many thousands of living veterans just in California that served in France, and we don't know where they are. Please help me find them, and we'll put their paperwork in to get this beautiful award. A little history on our nations. Back in our War of Independence, France provided incredible support to help us. In our War of Independence, they provided Marines and naval support and helped us turn the tide against the British at the Battle of Yorktown. In 2007 was the 250th anniversary of the birth of the Marquis of Lafayette. He was a French aristocrat, but a very young gentleman and a brilliant military strategist. And I learned a few years ago, at 19 years of age, he was the youngest general officer ever to serve in our armed forces. Washington had appointed him a general in our army, so kudos to Lafayette. And we cannot forget our most precious gift from France, the Statue of Liberty. Thank you, France. I'm very pleased now to call up our host today for this wonderful event, Mr. Fred Bell, the Managing Director of the museum. Fred.
I can't think of a more fitting location, as Bob said, than the Cravens Hangar, surrounded by memories from that great struggle so long ago. We tend to, at times, forget the sacrifice that these men and women made at that time. You know, they were young. They were many times either in high school or barely out of high school. They left their farms. They left their factories. They left whatever their lives were for a very uncertain future as the scourge of Nazi Germany fell over Western Europe and France lost its freedom. The French did not give up. They continued to struggle, and they continued to resist the Germans during the occupation. And with that long friendship that we had with France, we were able to come to their aid. And again, these farmers, these factory workers, these young men and women stepped off at Normandy and began the Great Crusade to liberate Europe. We cannot lose sight of the fact of what a special relationship the United States has with the country of France. We should never lose that relationship and lose the understanding of how important it is. And the other thing is, never forget the sacrifices that our men and women made at that time for a very uncertain future as they reverberate through history. That conflict continues to shape the world today. And at this time, as the greatest generation is now marching into history, is the most important time that we recognize these historic and heroic deeds of our citizens. Vive la France! God bless the United States of America. Thank you for coming this morning.
Thank you, Fred. It's now my pleasure to invite our city host, the mayor of Palm Springs, Bob Moon, who's also a commander, U.S. Navy retired. Bob?
It's an honor to be here today to welcome all of you to Palm Springs and to this beautiful Palm Springs Air Museum, which is really one of the true jewels of our city. And it's very, we're honored here in Palm Springs to have our French Consul General, Monsieur Lemont, here. Thank you very much for coming today and for making this ceremony possible. Most of all, I'd like to say welcome to our World War II veterans who are here today. It's wonderful to have you here and to be able to see you being recognized by the French government for all that you did for their country and for ours. As a midshipman at Annapolis, in naval history, our entire naval history was replete with stories of the French Navy. I mean, if it was not for the French Navy, there would be no America. So, as we always say, if there was no France, there would be no America. And possibly if there was no America, there would be no France. So we are very, very tightly, our bonds are very, very tight. And personally, I know my father and all my uncles served in World War II, and I have one uncle who died at the Battle of the Bulge. And also, my husband's father lost his leg in the Battle of the Bulge. So my family is very tied with World War II and with France and all that happened in that great war. So on behalf of all of the City Council and all the residents of Palm Springs, I'd like to thank everyone for being here today for this wonderful ceremony. And also, of course, Councilmember Iris Smoltrick, one of my dear friends, and here representing the city of Rancho Mirage. So thank you very much for having me here today. It's a true honor to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Moon. I'd now like to go through our invitation of our introduction of our other distinguished guests. And please hold your applause till we introduce them all. We're very pleased to have the Honorable Christophe Lemont, the Consul General of France in Los Angeles, and his spouse, Samson Verma, here today. Consul General, welcome. Please hold your applause. And we have our three honorees. Lieutenant Raymond Casey Hasey. Would you like to introduce your family members here?
No, I don't have my glasses with me.
Do we have a family member that wants to mention their guest? Well, I know we have this group. Okay. Well, welcome.
Bob can read them to you.
Just the immediate family.
All right. So, well, we don't have time for all of them, but if there's any immediate family, I like to recognize them. Have any immediate family you want to introduce?
Yes, my son Steve and my gorgeous daughter-in-law Kelly and my grandson back there Jared and his wife-to-be very soon. I think very soon, but we're looking forward to it. And then I've got some friends here. Don, former fighter pilot from the Navy. Well, that's
Just
enough.
the family.
For now. Welcome to all of your guests. Any family members you want to introduce?
It's my wife, Margie, and my son-in-law, Keith, and my daughter, Lisa, and my other daughter, Jamie. And
Your grandchildren?
I got a granddaughter back there in the back, and my sister-in-law, and brother-in-law in the back.
Missy? Anyone else? Rod's immediate family? Okay. Chris gave us a pledge of allegiance. So, thank you very much. Tanya, welcome all of you here today to help us honor these wonderful gentlemen. We're also pleased to have with us here Phyllis Maher and her daughter Janice. They are the widow and daughter of World War II Legion of Honor Chevalier Pat Mager Maher, who passed away before he could come to a ceremony. So we're pleased to have them here today to help us honor these veterans. And I have another veteran here who's a candidate for the Legion of Honor.
Earl Ulmer. And this is my wife, Lee.
Wonderful to have you here today. He's a candidate. Hopefully you'll get approved soon. From the U.S. House of Representatives, representing Congressman Ruiz, we have Elena Kim. From the city of Rancho Mirage, Councilmember Iris Smotrick. Welcome, Iris. I know we have a number of veterans here today. If you can stand, please rise so we can recognize all our veterans here today. And among them is my good friend, Lieutenant Colonel Bob Christian, whom I've known for many years, and we were assigned together, and U.S. Air Force retired. And he's brought with him World War II Marine veteran Vince Anderson. Vince, who was a survivor of the sinking of the U.S. Lexington in the Battle of the Coral Sea, the famous battle that turned the tide against our allies, the Japanese in World War II. I also have a schoolmate from my high school in Argentina, Ben Smith, who hosted me last night. Ben, thank you for doing that, and his wife Ruth Ann, and a college roommate of mine and Navy veteran, Alan Evans. I hadn't seen Alan in 48 years. There he is, Alan. Welcome. And from the Ritz-Carlton in Rancho Mirage, we'd like to welcome Chef Bruno Lopez, who arranged the wonderful reception. Bruno, welcome. And from the, please be seated. And from the Palm Springs Air Museum, I want a special thanks to Fred and his staff, and Greg Kenny, the education coordinator, who helped bring this program together. We are now, this is the main part of the program. We're going to be going into the presentations of the medals. And the way we're going to handle it is I'm going to call up the Consul General and read his bio, and as he presents each medal, I will call each honoree up front and center, and the wheelchair, if a family member can come help bring them up when we call that. We'll present the medal, face the Consul General, present the medal, and then we'll turn to the audience for photo op. And we'll do that sequentially. I'll read a short bio of each one. So it's now my pleasure to call up Consul General Christophe Lemon to begin our presentations. Monsieur Lemon was born in Gonesse, France in 1974. He's a 1997 graduate of the Institute of Political Studies at Bordeaux. Mr. Christophe Lemon holds a doctorate-level degree in international law and international organization law, as well as a diploma in economic and European international law, both from the University of Geneva. His postings in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs have included the Human Resources Branch in Paris during 2001-2004, the third secretary at the French Embassy in Berlin during 2004-2007, External Relations Division of the European Cooperation Department of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs from 2007 to 2009, then at the Office of the Secretary General of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs from 2009 to 2012. From 2012 to 2015, he was Chief of Staff for Mr. Leonard Fabius, Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Development. In July 2015, he took up his current post as Consul General of France in Los Angeles, with jurisdiction over Southern California, Arizona, Colorado, New Mexico, and Southern Nevada. Please welcome Christophe Lemoine.
Thank you. Dear Mayor Moon, dear Fred Bell, dear Harrison Aldridge, dear veterans, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I would like to really thank very warmly Fred Bell, his staff, and in particular Greg Kenny for their generosity in providing the venue and logistics today and allowing us to hold our ceremony here, one of the world's best aviation museum. Thank you very much. And I would also like to thank our dear friend, Lieutenant Colonel Bob Johnson, for his unwavering friendship and help in identifying potential candidates for this very special award, and for helping to organize this ceremony today and being our Master of Ceremony. Bob, thank you very much once again. Ladies and gentlemen, it's always a very special occasion for me, and today is a very special day for me as the Consul General of France in Los Angeles, because I am here to express the gratitude of the people of France to all American and Allied veterans of the Second World War, and particularly today to three exceptional people. First Lieutenant Raymond Casey Hazy, Private First Class Martin Courts, and Private First Class Francis Snell. As young men, they left their homes to fight and liberate not only France, but the whole European continent, and then defend democracy and human rights. Their accomplishments during the war are a vibrant reminder of the profound friendship between France and the United States, a friendship bound in blood and hardships ever since the War of Independence. From the glorious days of Yorktown to the grim battlefields of Château-Thierry, and from the beaches of Normandy to the mountains of Afghanistan, our country have been fighting together, side by side. Freedom is a gift that does not come for free, and it requires determination and sacrifices. Dear veterans, the French people will never forget that you helped restore their freedom. Your courage and dedication is an example to us all. You are examples of the greatest generation which faced the despair and deprivation of the Great Depression and went on to fight for liberty and freedom during World War II, rebuilt Europe and Japan, and invented a freer, more democratic world after the war. And you remind us that no matter how great the challenge, it can be met when honest men and women stand up with determination and courage. You are an inspiration to us all and to the younger generations. Today, we also honor the memory of your comrades who made the ultimate sacrifice. We remember their courage and their devotion in the face of adversity. We remember that they are an unbreakable link in the long chain of friendship between our two countries. They will forever remain in our hearts. So on behalf of the French government and the people of France, I would like to tell you very sincerely from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for your bravery, thank you for your heroism, and thank you for your sacrifices. Long life to the United States of America, long life to the French-American friendship, and vive la France. Thank you very much.
I'd like to now call up Casey Hasey, front and center, for the presentation. Casey, if you could come up to the center. And face right here, between the we'll do it between the flags. Here, between the flags, so we can get face the Consul General.
Raymond Casey Hasey.
Au nom du président de la République française et des pouvoirs qui me sont conférés, je vous fais chevalier dans l'ordre national de la Légion d'honneur.
Please face the audience now. You can sit back down. Private First Class Martin Kurtz, front and center. Private First Class Martin Kurtz was born in Brooklyn, New York in July 1926. He sailed to England on the Ile-de-France in February 1945. Martin fought in the Rhineland and Central Europe campaign as a U.S. Army infantryman and bar rifleman with the 255th Infantry Regiment of the 63rd Infantry Division. Martin was involved in heavy combat in Alsace-Lorraine and the Ruhr and Saar valleys in Germany. He was wounded in France and twice in Germany. His significant decorations include the Bronze Star Medal, 3 Purple Heart Medals, the EAME Campaign Medal with 2 Battle Stars, the Combat Infantry Badge, and the Army of Occupation Medal. He resides in Rancho Cucamonga, and his extended family includes 4 children, 5 grandchildren, and 4 great-grandchildren.
Martin Kurtz, au nom du président de la République française et en vertu des pouvoirs qui me sont conférés, je vous fais chevalier dans l'ordre national de la Légion d'honneur.
Casey, I'm going to call you up again to read your bio after this last medal. Russ Snell, front and center. Can we have help to bring his wheelchair up? Private First Class Francis Russ Snell was born in Newcastle, Indiana in September 1923. He served in Europe with the U.S. Army 506th Parachute Infantry Regiment of the 101st Airborne Division. On D-Day, he jumped into the Sainte-Marie-du-Mont area of Normandy and was involved in the heroic stand at Bastogne, Belgium. Russ was wounded in France, Holland, and Belgium. His significant decorations include 3 Purple Heart Medals, the Presidential Unit Citation, the EAME Campaign Medal with 4 Battle Stars, and the French and Belgian Croix de Guerre Fourragères. He resides in Desert Hot Springs, California, with his second wife, Marjorie, who has written a book about his wartime experiences, Lest We Forget, a World War II 101st Airborne Paratrooper. It's on display on the memorabilia table. Their combined extended family includes 5 children, 13 grandchildren, and 6 great-grandchildren. Oh, you can stand.
Francis Rasnaer, au nom du président de la République française et en vertu des pouvoirs qui me sont conférés, je vous fais chevalier dans l'ordre national de la Légion d'honneur.
Christoph, can you hold the medal facing him again? He was facing that way. Just turn this way, so we get a picture this way with you holding the medal. We didn't get a good. Right, very good. And we always try to get the best pictures. Okay, thank you. I want to call up. I'm going to call up Casey Hasey again because I forgot to read his bio. So, Casey, can you stand up again? I didn't read your bio. Can you stand up again so I can read your bio? With the Consul General. Just stand up with the Consul General. We'll read your bio. I missed it, and of course it's very important. First Lieutenant Raymond Casey Hasey was born in Columbus, Wisconsin in May 1920. He served as a U.S. Army Air Corps B-26 bombardier, navigator, and gunner with the 495th Bomb Squadron of the 9th Air Force and later in the 1st Pathfinder Squadron. He completed 55 combat missions, including support for the D-Day landings, the retaking of Cherbourg, and the St. Lo breakout. His significant decorations include the Air Medal with 11 oak leaf clusters, the Presidential Unit Citation, the EMA Campaign Medal with 4 battle stars, and the World War II Victory Medal. He has written a book on his military service entitled My Bomb Sight View of World War II. Casey resides in Cathedral City, California, and he has 6 children, 4 grandchildren, and 1 great-grandchildren. Congratulations, Casey. Yes, you can all sit down. I'm now pleased to call up Mayor Moon again for a special presentation.
French Consul General, if you'd like to, if you'd come up, please. Okay. So I hate to stand in front of our gentleman here.
Oh, okay. Let me do it here.
Okay. Okay. You're such a photo guy. You know? Whereas the city of Palm Springs in the state of California has a significant interest in the welfare and legacy of our senior veterans, and whereas California is home to about 10% of our nation's veterans, and whereas France provided significant military assistance in our War of Independence with Britain, and whereas the United States sent millions of military personnel to France during World War I and World War II to expulse invaders and liberate her from tyranny, and whereas France has recognized the contributions of our living veterans through the National Order of the Legion of Honor presentation program, and whereas the Palm Springs Air Museum is hosting the presentation ceremony at the Don and Peggy Craven's European Hangar on October 15th, 2016, now therefore I, Robert Moon, Mayor of the City of Palm Springs, by the power vested in me, do hereby proclaim 15 October 2016 to be French Legion of Honor Appreciation Month. Thank you very much.
Photos? Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Moon. It's now my pleasure to call up Elena Kim, representing Congressman Ruiz, to make some remarks and a special presentation.
Thank you, Bob. Good morning, soon to be good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for joining us here. I'll be very brief with my remarks. My name is Elena Kim. I am the field representative for Congressman Raul Ruiz, and it is an honor for me to be here, both as a veteran myself and as someone who has studied the great works that these men partook in World War II. I'll share a quick story. When I was in college in Washington, D.C., a group of veterans, student veterans, who were utilizing their GI Bill, which we do have World War II veterans to thank for, were invited to go to France and to visit the shores of Normandy to learn about World War II and the American relationship with the French people. So I did travel to Normandy for the 70th anniversary of D-Day with a group of student veterans, mainly from the Iraq and the Afghanistan wars. And we were able to accompany 18 World War II veterans on that trip, the youngest of which was in his 90s. I will say that the relationship between America and France, which has been spoken about already today, cannot be emphasized enough. Millions of men and women served in World War II across Europe. Thousands of those men are still in France, interred in the American cemeteries. And for that reason, they will always be there, and the special relationship between our two countries will always exist. And for that, we're very appreciative today. I do have a certificate that I would like to present on behalf of your Congressman Raul Ruiz. I'll read it really quick. This is a certificate of congressional recognition presented to our gentlemen, our veterans here today, in honor of years of distinguished and meritorious service. On behalf of the people of California's 36th Congressional District, thank you for your acts of bravery in France during World War II. Your incredible example of dedication will have a profound and lasting effect on the next generation for years to come.
Thank you, Elena, and please give our regards to Congressman Ruiz for the recognition. This now concludes our ceremony, and I'd like to make a few closing remarks to thank those that helped with this wonderful event. Greg Kenny and to the Palm Springs Museum and Fred and his staff for this help in planning this beautiful ceremony and making this wonderful venue available in the presentation media and setting. Chef Lopez, Bruno, thank you for making a wonderful reception available from the Ritz-Carlton. the French consulate, Christophe and your staff, in particular Terry Gans and Astrid, for helping bring this together and coordinating the process of approvals for these veterans. The City of Palm Springs for their advice and support. Mayor Moon, thank you for that. And all the honorees and their families for help in putting your bios together and making this a little moment of glory for you all. We're going to have a photo op session now. This is a one-time. If we don't do it now, we'll never do it again. But I'd like to invite up the dignitaries again for a photo op together. Mayor Moon, Councilwoman Iris, and Christophe, and Elena, if you'll come behind the flags. We're going to do individual family photos, so just be patient. Fred, come on, Fred. Where? Is he here? We have to get a mandatory group picture for the consulate to publish through their website. Okay, now we're going to do the individual family pictures. I'm going to have individual pictures of each honoree with the French Consul General and the two flags. So we're going to, let's see, I'm going to, if you can sit, I'm going to call your family up together. We're going to take individual family pictures, and I'll need Kate. I need you to sit down. Let's stand up and move the chairs. We're going to set up for photos, so I have to do a little rearranging. We'll bring the honorees back up in sequence. You're going to be first. So I need you to sit down. There's a chair. No, over there. There's a spare chair. I'll call you back up. I'll call you back up. If we don't do this now, we never get it. So I've learned that. We're going to put the certificates aside here. We're going to we'll get an individual picture first. Wait a minute. Not yet. We want to get Casey alone. Okay. Alone, first. Okay. First. We'll call you up shortly.
Just stay there.
We have to get these pictures first. All right, photo out. Okay, Casey's family can come up, and friends. You want to sit down, Casey? You want to sit down? You want to sit down? You can sit down. You want to sit down right here? There's a chair right behind you. Oh. Sit right here. everybody in? Can we get? Can everybody see the camera? Okay, Martin, next.
No, we didn't. I didn't see. I saw it flash.
Yes. We get a minute for a picture.
You're next. Okay, family members? Martin's family, Kurt's family? Come over this side.
Can I get you scared? Just one picture. Grab some there, Joe. Ready?
Hope you got filled.
Oh, you're old school. Hey, smile now. And for the museum.
The other guests can go partake of the reception if you'd like. Please go ahead. So, Snell family, Russ, you'll go first. Individual picture. While we have you here, well, let's get a family. I didn't have each one of them share a little story. We'll do that individually. But Russ, your family, we'll do that just after this. Russ' family. Sure. Yes, thanks for reminding me. Yes, we'll do that. Come on, because I know.
Miss in the blue, you're behind the flag. Miss in blue, we can't see your face. Come on up. I don't know a name. It's for them to use.
One more, the photographer needs to get in.
No, I'm getting in.
Oh, it's like this family. Nice camera.
I didn't know his family.
His family.
I forgot to ask each veteran if they wanted to say a few remarks. Is he prepared to say it? Okay. I'll have Marge say a few words of thanks from on Russ' behalf.
On behalf of Russ, myself, and our family, thank you for the honor of listening to your beautiful French accent. But even more so, thank you so much for this honor. I want you to know that we are going to treasure it just as much as his Purple Heart. So thank you very, very much. And I've just got to say quickly, I don't know if Bob Johnson and Iris Smotrich, if you get all the credit that you deserve, because I know you spent hours on this, so thank you. There's a saying, what do you want first, the good news or the bad news? Well, I'm going to give you a bad memory of France, of Normandy for Russ, and then a good memory from France. So when he jumped on Normandy, they had, hold that for me. They had a way of connecting with the others from their company. And so the Army gave them this, they thought was a great idea, a little toy cricket. And a friend of ours recently went to Normandy, well, 15 years ago, and she came back with an exact replica of what they used. The bad news about it was that the Nazi German army figured out their code very quickly, and they took the little crickets off of dead bodies, and then it led to other of the paratroopers' death because the German army was answering back to them. And Russ, I'll let you show what it sounded like. So if anyone wants to see a copy of the little, this is an exact replica of the cricket. They would click once, and then there would be a response with 2 clicks. So unfortunately, it led to many of their deaths. Then also in Russ's hand is something actually from D-Day. He had the presence of mind, this is the good memory. He had the presence of mind, he said, I'm gonna live through this day. And he took another thing out of his pocket besides the toy cricket. He took his army knife and he cut a big circle out of his parachute, stuck it in his pocket. It went through the whole war, in and out of 5 hospitalizations, made it home, and he still has a piece of that parachute. So that's the actual parachute that he jumped on D-Day. That's all that's left. It was a big piece, but he's given away pieces to all the family members and special people in his life. So thank you very much for the honor of this beautiful day, a beautiful memory we will always remember.
Thank you, Marge. Martin, would you like to say a few words of thanks? I'll bring you up. Just brief.
Well, I don't know what to say. It's the first time I've been without words. Thank everybody for coming. This was a great honor. Totally unexpected. Shall I start over? No. Well, I thank my beautiful family, my friends that are here, and we've waited 70 years to get the medal, but it's well appreciated. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark. Casey, would you like to say a few words?
Oh, yeah.
Just brief.
I talk all the time.
Please make it brief.
Well, I'd like to thank everybody for coming, and I'd like to thank the French for doing this, and I'm very honored to receive this medal. Pearl Harbor happened, and everybody in this country became united. And the kids went out in the fields and found pieces of metal to contribute, and it was picked milkweed pods. The women saved their oil, or grease on the kitchen stove so that they could put it on the bullets. And they went to work in the factories and produced the airplane that I flew in. Everybody saved gasoline, so I would be able to get back to our base. And even the politicians all cooperated together. And we were a united country, and I'm very thankful for being here. Thank you.
Thank you, Casey. B-26 pilot, navigator. Go Air Force. Thank you very much. Please enjoy the reception. Bruno has something special prepared for us.